Oh yes, indeed, you are welcome for a Wednesday edition here. And they say when life gives you onions, or is it lemons, what do you do?
You know, I've always wondered at the use of lemons. Why not cucumber?
Well, what?
Okay, well, when it gives you cucumber, instead of, just slice it and put it on your eyes. So you can see clearly, Mazino.
That's where you're going.
Gosh,
Thank you,
you
Mary.
need bleach.
Welcome to a Wednesday edition here. It's a happy one. Definitely you guys are in the right place. Make sure that you have your own preferred beverage, perhaps lemonade this time. Sit back, relax, and we will be giving you a fantastic show.
All right. You know, sometimes you have to be tough on yourself.
Yeah.
Just so you can get past your current level. And as most jobs resume fully today.
They do.
Notes, most. After the holidays, you're mean. You need that extra push to win that bread home, okay?
I'm sorry, but we've been hard at work all through the week, the start of the week, and so I feel a bit, what's the word, schadenfreude. But it's okay. Welcome. Make sure that you get up and about to make that daily 2K, or that urgent 2K, like they say. This is when it counts because you've just got 3 days to do that. Welcome to what used to be Wonder Woman Wednesday, but with a man in the mix for this edition for Wake Up Nigeria because, I mean, hey, I have to hijack the show every single time on a Wednesday. They let me.
You know that part where you said urgent 2K? So it just suddenly struck me that for a very long time I was actually earning 2K a day.
Interesting.
Wow.
Years ago.
Okay.
We have a great show planned for you guys, and as your hosts, we want to ensure you enjoy this experience for the next 1 hour and 45 minutes. My name, of course, is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is, of course, Mary Bashua Alimi. Now, it's our job to serve you the best when it comes to breakfast television. So remember, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Make sure you download the app on any Android or iOS phone and send in your comments across our social media platforms at TVC Connect. And hey, we would love to read those comments. We always like them. By the way, I forgot to make a shout out to Ada from Makeup, who actually compliments me every single time, even while Mary is there not complimenting me. Ada, thank you very much. I love you. I know, and your kids too.
Anyway, let's tell you what we have planned for you today before Mazino blushes himself to oblivion.
Stop it, I like it. We have, well, we'd love to celebrate most of our audience and everybody out there who might be celebrating themselves this month.
That got me thinking of Dorime. Have you seen the video?
The video for Dorime?
For Dorime.
No, I haven't actually.
It's about guys that are cutting corners to make money.
I'll tell you something about seeing Shaggy anytime on a movie skit or a movie itself. It's always very, very interesting. First thing that just comes to my mind, I just start laughing. I don't know why. He's just such a very... you look at him and you start laughing. His antiques just, you're reminded of them. Anyhow, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm all right. I'm doing good.
Did we kind of like sync today somehow?
Didn't
just
think
somehow?
of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got red socks on too.
Please don't look at the color of my shoes, but they're also brown. Somehow. Okay, but on a more serious note, I saw something on social media. Okay. And it's made me curious because I'm actually wondering what people think of this. I saw someone make a tweet that, what do you call the greatest scam in history? Yeah,
that we're not willing to admit.
I saw loads of people saying different things. I saw chemotherapy. I saw...
Vitamins.
What?
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
They're actually a big scam because you really don't need them. Well, don't quote me. Health experts might tell you different. But I just think that if you want vitamins, eat fruits. And then the one that actually caught my attention, quite a number of people wrote marriage. Is it a scam, really? Is marriage a scam? I wouldn't say marriage is a scam. I'll say actually the biggest scam that we're not willing to admit is love. Love is not a scam, as you know. Now, let me explain. If you will let me speak, Mary. I will not let you speak, Mazino. Now, this is the thing. Love is very, very important in marriage, but the fact is, it's not the only thing that's important. There are other things that are important. Doesn't mean it's a scam. It is, because that's the only thing. That's the stem people go on. Or rather, that's the only thing people go on. It's actually a stem. It's what you should anchor everything else on. Understanding, trust, fidelity, and all of that. But if you rely on just love alone, instead of a marriage, it's destined and bound to fail. It's a lie. Love is not a scam. Baby, below. Let's do the weather.
Hello and welcome. This is the news on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Kelly. Giga. The Chief of Air Staff, Marshal Ishaka Mao, has urged the army men and air women to sustain their tempo of operations and continue the fight against insurgents, bandits, and other criminal elements to restore peace to all troubled parts of the country. He gave the charge at the Eid-el-Fitr launch with the personnel of Operation Well Punch and Quick Response in Mina, the Niger State capital, warning them to maintain professionalism as their effort and sacrifices are being appreciated. Marshal Abao applauded President Muhammadu Buhari's support to the Nigerian Air Force and Armed Forces of Nigeria towards the achievement of the desired air power goals in the country. In the meantime, the United Nations is calling on governments to respect the rights and protect journalists and media workers in their respective countries. The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, said this in his message, "Start Journalism Under Digital Siege." He noted that there is need to emphasize the essential work of media professionals who seek transparency and accountability from those in power, most times at great personal risk. Identified threats of freedom of journalists and media workers in areas of global health, climate crisis, corruption, human rights abuses, and censorship, which puts many at risk. According to the UN chief, media workers in war zones are threatened not only by bombs and bullets, but by the weapons of falsification and disinformation that accompany modern warfare. Mr. Guterres lamented that women journalists are also at risk of online harassment and violence. He also assured that the United Nations is working to support journalists and media workers around the world with its plan of action on the safety of journalists established 10 years ago. On the international scene, the first convoy of civilians to escape from a steel plant in Russian-occupied Mariupol has reached the relative safety of Ukraine-controlled Zaporizhia as Russian forces launched a new assault on the site. The United Nations confirmed 127 civilians evacuated from the besieged plant, and a nearby town arrived in the Ukrainian-controlled city some 230 kilometers northwest of Mariupol on Tuesday. The UN humanitarian coordinator for Ukraine says 101 civilians left the steelworks as part of a 5-day operation coordinated by the United Nations and the International Committee of the Red Cross that began on April 29. He said some of the evacuees opted to be dropped off before arriving in government-controlled territory. Meanwhile, Russia military said it had resumed strikes on the Azovstal steel plant after a ceasefire broke down. Russian Defense Ministry spokesperson claimed Ukrainian fighters at the plant used the ceasefire to take up new positions.
Time for the newspaper headlines on Wake Up Nigeria. This morning, we will begin with the Daily Independent newspaper. Now, the Daily Independent has this 2023 presidency. PDP governors kick as Atiku plans to retain Peter Obi as running mate. Down here, we see 1.12 trillion naira food imports bill. Stakeholders urge federal government to tackle insecurity, low purchasing power. Down here, we see hold public officers accountable if Nigeria must move forward, Amechi tells journalists. Down here, we also see Nance warns politicians to be civil as 2023 poll approaches. Those are the major headlines on the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Now, from the Daily Independent newspaper, we move to the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper has this. World Press Freedom Day. Nigerian journalists decry worsening conditions. 71 pressmen killed. 293 incarcerated in 1 year worldwide. Practitioners under surveillance in Nigeria, and that's coming from the IPI. Stick to ethics, governors tell media. Up here we have 2023 presidency, Tinubu, Oshibaja, other Southwest leaders to meet Friday. 7 days after, federal government yet to implement aviation development roadmap. Now, down here we have from the Sultan, will never allow terrorists to have their way. We also have Army declares war on IPOB for killing couple personnel. And finally, 50 passengers escape as fire guts plane's tires in Port Harcourt. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Trust newspaper. Right now, we head straight to Nigerian News Direct. And this has Southwest Agenda, Akonde Oshoba, to meet Tinubu, Oshibajo, or other presidential aspirants as Akeredolu insists power must shift to South. My government will not condone acts that can truncate peace harmony in Ogun. And that's coming from Governor Abiodun. Insecurity linked to Nigeria's failure to invest in human capacity building, coming from Peter Obi. Here we also have Nigeria's crude production crashed by 1.2 million barrels in April, coming from OPEC. NDLEA uncovers 22 billion naira worth of imported tramadol. All of these stories and more you can catch in Nigerian News Direct this morning. Now, from there, we move straight to fitness.
Welcome. Time for What's Up and About, ladies.
Yes.
Since I'm a guest here, what are we talking about?
What are you feeling like? Which guest? Who made you a guest?
A very handsome guest.
Oh, please.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. All right, so today we're going to be talking about something I stumbled upon on social media.
You're always stumbling on stuff. Do you ever fall? Do you ever get injured?
That was when my body aches me sometimes.
I guess.
Okay, so this guy tweeted. He said this guy was paying his girlfriend 70,000 naira monthly for agreeing to date him and continued even after 4 months they weren't on talking terms. The one that bust my brain was when he had to call her on phone to ascertain if she had received the money he sent her. And she said she had received it. And she couldn't say thank you to the guy. I thought nigga was under a spell, but I'm glad you would. Well, he's not married to someone that really loves and appreciates him. And so, you know, there were loads of feedback on that. And I was like thinking to myself, there are guys who actually pay their girlfriends allowance. Am I in this world?
I found that very disturbing. First off, as it started to say, I was paying my girlfriend so and so.
I'm telling you.
That's just, so this is a relationship based on
money.
Commerce.
Yeah, like I'm paying you to date me.
I'm paying you for love, so that's
wow.
not genuine at all.
I don't understand.
Sabinos.
Why is that new suddenly?
I know where you're going to go. I'll let you go.
Wait. Let's hear what she has to say.
Yes, why is it new? There are lots of relationships that are transactional, and everyone knows love is underrated. You know that, right?
I agree with you, and that's what I said to her this morning when
It's
we started.
not.
In
Love
a
is
lot
not
of
a scam.
No, we're not saying it is, but in a lot of relationships, I don't think it's love that exists. There's definitely something that fuels the relationship. What fuels it?
So I get what she's saying now. First off, it is true that love is not enough. Now, you have to be secure. So security is what most people would look for inside of a relationship. And if finances is what's going to help
financial
you secure,
security is what
fantastic. Great. However, if that is the stem of the relationship, that's where it's a problem. You should be able to take care of your woman as a married man. I mean, hey, I don't have my cards with me. They're all with my wife. And it's okay. That's our arrangements, you know, so that she's never in need. And if anything, if she needs anything, it's just a call away, even after she has used the card, by the way. I love you, Jennifer. But if the stem is financial, then there's a problem. Anything that has money as its stem, even if it's business, if you're so profit-driven, then you have a problem. If you don't have other forms of expression as a business, CSRs and all of that, you will crumble eventually. That's my belief. So
I'm actually trying to wrap my head around it. Like, I've always believed that relationships have to do with, okay, I like you, let's build something together. And then, of course, you're making your own money, I'm making my own money. We're trying to, you know, make ends meet as a couple.
You're talking in regards to marriage.
Love language.
That's a marriage situation.
Isn't that supposed to be how the relationship should be as well?
Yeah, but in this century that we live in, a lot of relationships are based on finance, based on money.
What was it like when you were dating?
Oh, I'm not one of those people.
The way you're defending them,
No. I am not. To be honest, I am actually not one of those people. Even till now, I tell people. So, for example, you mentioned earlier about your wife, and you know how you give her your ATM card, and she spends as much as she wants to.
No, not as much. She spends very, very regulatively.
She's being prudent.
She's very prudent.
Yeah, she's very prudent with how much she spends. But I'm not one to ask my partners for money. I've never been in that situation where I'm asking for money, because I've always been, apart from having an independent mindset, to the point where even right now, I feel that it's become a a lagging for me because I'm like, maybe I have made my partner feel too comfortable or too, she doesn't ask, maybe she doesn't need it.
Yeah, she doesn't.
But there are times that, you know, it is one of my love language. Yeah, spending money, giving me gifts. Yes, it is my love language. And to be honest, because of my mindset, I'm not going to communicate that to you. I just expect you to use your common sense and, you know, do the needful.
What's your love language?
Love language,
yes,
attention.
Attention?
Attention, affection.
Oh. No.
Like, I don't know. I've never really thought about money being my love language because I always feel like I can work for it. But attention, affection, if you just shower me with affection, oh my gosh. That's why I can't believe that love.
You can be like 1,000 miles away, but let me know, let me feel your presence by the things that you're giving to me.
Oh, wow.
You know, send me flowers.
Wow.
No, I don't need flowers.
Actually, I love flowers. I love flowers and chocolate.
Send me a box of shoes. Send me a box of chocolates. Just send me a wine and chocolates. Make me feel good, a bottle of wine and chocolates. And, you know, just that, I want to feel your attention.
But in our common
climb,
in our recent climb, it would seem that money would be the one thing that actually, you know, is the stem for most relationships.
You know,
especially because you have all of that social media, exhibitionist type lifestyle and all of that. And people fronting or flaunting their partners,
wealth.
Their partner's wealth. You know, that kind of thing. So
I'm beginning to actually think maybe at this point, when you want to get into a relationship, get pen and paper, both of you sit down and you sign a contract.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point.
Mary. Not every relationship
you will sign contracts because I don't understand some of the things I hear these days about relationships. I honestly do not.
I do not think that every relationship should be.
Please sign a contract.
So,
I want to date you. You want to date me? Paper, biro, call our lawyer.
We have to take a break.
Let's take this
now,
break.
people. We'll be right back. And you're welcome, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigerian. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Blossom. Yeah, this morning she's making a Ghanaian snack. It's called kelewele. Ever heard of that snack? Never heard of it before. Just hearing about it for the first time today on the show. So, Blossom, you mind telling us what kelewele is?
Yes, kelewele is a Ghanaian snack, but I'm going to make it like a meal for us this morning because I'm going to serve with some hot cup of tea. Oh. So, yes.
Yummy.
It's like a whole meal.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about the ingredients for kelewele.
Yeah, we're working with the star ingredient of ripe plantains. Okay. Then some spice. In here we have a mixture of black pepper and some paprika.
Okay.
So we have some granules. We'll get them roasted. We have ginger, garlic, and some onions.
Why does this feel like bolia and granules?
You know, plantain and granule, they have this thing. So there must be granules.
But to be honest, I have never understood the concept behind bolia and granules, to be honest. I think it is one of the most unnecessary, or no, I don't know what's called. But yeah, I don't know. But people who enjoy it. So bananas with granules, yeah. But plantains with granules, okay. Now, how is kelewele made?
Kelewele is very simple. Like, you should be able to. Okay, what some persons like to marinate the plantain.
Well, so what are we doing with the plantain?
The plantain, we'll cut it.
Okay.
You can cut it into any shape you want.
Okay.
Then we'll spice it.
We'll cut it with the pepper.
Cut it with some pepper, yes.
Okay.
Then we'll blend the whole of this.
Okay.
We're not using all the ginger for this plantain. So we'll blend them. We'll just coat it together, then allow it to sit for some minutes before frying. Just then we'll just pan-sear our granules, like roast it in a dry pan.
Okay.
Then that's about it.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting recipe, I must say. Kelewele. Do you know what kelewele is? If you do, let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. Did you enjoy it when you tried it? Is this something that you have made? Let us know. All right, Blossom, over to you. Let's get kelewele. Let's get frying. We're starting with our plantains, right?
Okay.
So one would think that since you are coating and wrap, do you need help with anything? Let me know.
I need knife.
Knife, okay. Yes. So one would think that since you are, what's it called?
Coating.
Since you are wrapping or coating the plantains in the pepper, you would have like an egg somewhere to, like, you know, bind it.
That'll be a different recipe entirely.
Oh.
Okay, so some persons might ask, there's this pepper. This pepper you use for pepper soup.
Okay.
They use it like Ghanaians as well. I feel it to be too harsh for me.
Ghanaians love pepper, actually. Yes. They really do. So let's run through.
That uziza seed, they grind it with the
ginger and garlic.
And the uda. You know uda, that one? Yes. They use it for, but I decided to skip it because I don't want the whole heat. Okay, guys, if you're joining us, with me is Chef Blossom. And this morning, she's decided to bring a little bit of Ghanaian with her. Are you related? Is your boyfriend Ghanaian? Yeah, so on your screen right there, the ingredients, if you missed out on it earlier on. Blossom, come and do your thing. Okay. Run through the ingredients quickly so that people, you know. So we have our ripe plantain. Kelewele is just ripe plantain, which is our star ingredient. That's what you use, very ripe plantains. So we have our ginger and garlic, which is very, very, it's compulsory. All right. And the onions, compulsory as well. Then our granules. So we are roasting our granules, and then we are wrapping our plantains in the pepper and in the ginger and garlic with onions. Yeah. So all of this is going to be blended as well. We're going to wrap and then fry. Yeah, if you don't have blender, you can just grate your ginger and garlic you still directly. Get the same results, yes, right? I'm looking forward to this recipe, guys. I hope you watching are, and if something that you'd like to try out, please let us know. We have to head over to the couch now for some nutrition discussion with Mary. You know, in my entire life, I've never heard of kelewele, and I'm actually curious as to whether you can use powdered ginger, garlic, and onions instead. But hey, that's for to ask for me later. All right, it's time for us to have a conversation still based on nutrition. Yes, so when we talk nutrition, especially when it comes to breakfast, it's something that people go back and forth on every time as to whether or not breakfast is key, whether or not breakfast is important, or whether or not people should have breakfast. And so it's a question, a conversation that has been going on for ages. I, for one, just realized that I forgot my breakfast at home this morning. Kind of feeling teary, but that's all right. But whatever the case may be, we have a nutritionist in the studio with us this morning, Olusegun Abimbola. She's a food consultant, and she'll be discussing breakfast and its health effects. Great to have you on the show.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on board. So I would like to be talking on the concept of breakfast and your health. The fact that we hear that breakfast is the most important meal of the day is not a cliche. It is what it is because it is very important. So there's this model of operation that we have that says, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. But we have that the reverse is the case in Nigeria.
In most cases.
In most cases, we tend to focus more on our dinner, eating more meals, and which is not what it's supposed to be. We are supposed to eat well, eat better in the morning, and reduce it as time goes on. So why is breakfast actually important? Because our body has undergone a fast period. Let's say you add your dinner 8 or 9 p.m., which is supposed to be the maximum recommended time you eat your dinner. Worst case is 9 p.m. But you know, in Nigeria, sometimes you see people eating 10 p.m., 11 p.m. It is not an healthy choice at all, at all. So now, your body have been going through some process during that time of 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, till the morning. And so it is very expedient that when you wake up in the morning, you fuel your body system because it is very important for brain metabolism. If you don't get adequate breakfast in the morning, it will not allow you to be very alert. You tend to be sluggish to some extent. For some persons, you tend to be very sluggish and you won't be able to operate, do all the activities you are supposed to do in the right sense. You
know this sluggish part you're talking about. You know, you said eat like a king for breakfast. For some people, eating like a king is actually pounded yam. You know, pounded yam and a foriro. And then for some people with good measure, they will put boiled egg in it. But then, you know, it's relative. However, you know, when you eat like that, for some people, it makes them sleepy. Especially when you eat eba in the morning. So you won't have to eat something as heavy as eba in the afternoon. Is that the kind of eating like a king you're talking about? Because I'm looking at Nigerian diet, and I'm like, if you're going to eat like a king, that's how you're going to eat. You're going to eat pounded yam in the morning. Then by afternoon, you are probably eating boiled yam or boiled potato. And then by evening, you are eating maybe salad or something. So what's the best case scenario?
Okay, as much as it is important to have healthy breakfast, the food choices is also very paramount. And one recommended food choice that is always given is that we eat a diet that is high in fiber. That is our whole grains, such as oats, granola, and also high in protein, and also little fat, because unhealthy fat, it is not good for our body, and also adequate amounts of water. So our breakfast should not exclude high amount of whole grains, protein, and low amount of fat. So when we combine,
ogufe is protein. Sure, you understand?
Yes, that's it.
And then grain, because if you tell an average person to go and be buying granola is very expensive now.
But
They'll probably not buy into it. And then even oats are expensive now, quite expensive as a matter of fact. So when you look at it, if I want to bring it home, do I take gari in the morning? Maybe gari with granules. Granule has already provided fat and oil with protein. Gari, carbohydrates, then maybe fried fish. You know, what would you recommend bringing it to the Nigerian diet? Okay, bringing it to the Nigerian diet, we can have rice, we can have a protein as beans or probably chicken and something like that. And then our sauce that has fat, prepared with granite or something, so that can give us the fat. So we can also have this regular wheat bread or bread, and you can eat it with probably beans or egg. So like that, we are able to balance our intake of whole grain and our intake of protein. So what will you now have for lunch? So for lunch, you can eat swallow just as you recommended. But swallow is food for kings. A prince is also a food for a prince. No, it is bread and beans that is for prince. You see, Nigerian way of eating has even caused confusion in the whole diet. So, but that is the recommended way of eating. So it's not, even when we go to kings, not all kings actually eat all those. It's just perspective from the outside that will feel that those kings are actually eating those pounded yam, those things like that. They eat healthier choices. They go for healthier foods than us. It's not about these people that are actually wealthier. They know more about their health and go for healthier choices. They can have smoothie, yogurt, cereals, and those things. It's not until when you take pounded yam, eat eba, and those things that shows that you are a king. It is about you incorporating the right ingredients into your food and making sure that it is what your body needs. You know why I'm saying this? Okay, like now, if you go to Italy, for example, pizza is a full meal. In Nigeria, pizza is a snack. Yeah. If you go to some countries, pies are a full meal. In Nigeria, if you give me meat pie and say, this is my breakfast or lunch, I'll say, okay, no problem. Then 3 minutes later, I'll ask you, so, you know, that kind of stuff, like, where's my food? So, the Nigerian way of eating, I've always wondered at the old breakfast. I feel like most people's brunch can take them throughout the day. It's 3 square meals in one. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. What say you on this? Okay, for me, I just know that personally, I feel lack of information make a lot of people do some unhealthy things at times. So when you are adequately informed, you know that, okay, this thing is not good for my health, and then I will not do it. Because for example, I also, before I became a food consultant, I also indulge in those unhealthy eating. I'll be like, that was what we grew up with. But when you go into the concept of nutrition, you have nutritionists around you, you get motivated that, okay, this is what I am supposed to be doing. And enlightenment, wisdom brings you knowledge, and you become a better person when it relates to health. Okay, so what you're recommending now is eat the bread and beans or rice and beans in the morning. Yes, and you can go for balanced diet, and for you to get yourself gingered for the day. Yes. In the afternoon, you eat your swallow. I eat a swallow. Okay. Then what do you recommend for night? Dinner can be something very light. You can just have salad. Just something, it should be something very, very light, because even it is something that should be very, very light, because your body is going to go into a process of rest, and you don't want to be stressing your body. That is why it's very important that you take more heavier foods during the day, because you are going to involve yourself in a couple of activities that will allow you to shed off some unhealthy things that actually have accumulated during the process. Fantastic. All right, so there you have it. Abimbola says that your breakfast is the most important. And even though you're to eat like a king that is well informed. Okay? We'll take this break and we'll be right back. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria.
Oh, wow. You're welcome. Now, talking about connect and connectivity in Nigeria, I realized something, that we have a very, very big base when it comes to content creators and how much these guys actually need to be connected to be able to be global.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about iTom. Did you ever see iTom? When he came over to the studio, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure a lot of people already know him. He's a content creator. He does most of his stuff inside of his house. And it makes me think, where we would be, or ask the question, where we would be if we didn't have connectivity at all? By the way, I do think that most of the current connectivity networks are a bit, you know, I'm not going to say anything about them.
Hit the nail on the head. They are not up to expectation. As a matter of fact, I remember you talking last week about the network provider cheating you of
Yeah, exactly. You give me free and then you collect it at the end of gigs.
Yeah.
And then you collect
14 gig, I believe you said.
Let's not go there. But then there are other providers who are doing great work. And hey, tell you what, let's just congratulate them. That's all I'm going to say. So the ones that work out. The ones that work, thank you very much for working. But content creation is actually very, very necessary for our current economy. It's a big business, and it makes us. It brings in plenty of what do you call it? For
many young people.
Many young people. I wanted to say something about the package that we just saw by iTom. First up, I'm very, very interested in that kind of packaging. I'm not gonna lie, it seems daunting because all you ever see when it comes to content creators is the guy in front of the camera. You don't know how many people are behind the camera, or the process that went to putting that, you know, digest material, that's what I like to call them, together. It might last only 60 seconds because that's all of what social media affords us these days. But there's so much that goes in. It could take 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week to put together 60 seconds. And then you who's seeing it alone.
You're seeing the finished package and you're like, oh, it's so easy until you start. And you know something interesting about, you know, content creation and all, there's actually not just a lot involved, there's also the use of internet involved. And I dare say that when it comes to businesses in Nigeria today, there are 2 essential ingredients. Exchange rates and internet.
Connectivity.
Yes, because I've realized that if the exchange rate is stable and there's good internet, so many people are going to be like cleaning off and making not just good money, but also money they can even invest in. So those are our 2 major problems now. So if you have an internet provider that is giving you great connectivity, believe me, half of your problems are solved. Nowadays, people use the internet for a lot of things. Children do schooling online.
Oh, yes, there is that.
And I was shocked to realize that after the COVID, the pandemic,
the lockdown,
there are actually some schools that still
maintain it. Yeah, very true.
They'll do maybe like 3 days at school, 2 days at home. I don't
So my daughter's exams are held from over the internet, even if they're still within the vicinity of the school, but it's all internet-based now. And that's the thing. Where do you get connectivity, and how good is it when you get it? For instance, if you were a content creator and had to shoot something in the Sambisa forest, maybe not Sambisa, maybe Omu Resort or somewhere like that, places that are very, very kind of like, you know, far away from civilization, how do you get that kind of connectivity? Do you get it? Is it available is the question. While iTom is not related to any, what do you call it, provider?
No, it's not. We're just trying to explain to you what content creation has to do with the internet.
Exactly. It's a big deal. You absolutely need to have connectivity and proper connectivity to be able to do that. Also, one more thing, you must find a niche. Because if there's 10 of you doing the same thing, you're underwater.
You want to stand out.
Yeah, you want to stand out, find a proper niche, make sure that it is a very, very unique expression.
I feel like it's going to get a podcast on this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break.
I need connectivity for a podcast. Thank you.
Of course, we'll get to the top of the hour because we have 45 minutes more on the show. Please stay with us.
Oh, indeed, it is a happy Wednesday here. It's great when you have somebody who's got your back at all times. Thank you very much, Halima.
Until the day you chop it.
Everybody go chop one day or the other.
Halima serves breakfast. Turn by turn.
It's all good. Welcome to the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria here for Wednesday. It comes with the X, and that's for extra. Hey, we need to make no introduction this time because you know what you're up for.
You didn't say it the way I expected you to. The
that?
moment you say X, I just thought of extra. So let's say, you know, we need to give you that extra something to make the show special. Isn't it a culture that the second hour just has to be better than the first? Yeah, now give me my flowers now.
Sorry, I'm a bit more cool than that.
And I guess that's why we remain your favorite when it concerns breakfast television. But of course, we stay humble and we continue to put in the work at delivering the best. Must we have just. Let's check out the progress our chef has made in the kitchen so far.
What's happening?
With no chicken.
Wow, Mazino, really?
That's
really?
Easy, I know.
Well, Blossom has been hard at work as usual. Our roasted granules are ready, and we're about to fry our coated plantains. But when we come on later on, we'll show you how that's done.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Make sure that you have some served and waiting for us. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And of course, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Now, remember to stream the show live if you have to move at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. We always look forward to your comments on social media. They keep us connected. Nice. We appreciate them. Thank you so much.
Now, we're here for those comments, so yes, indeed, I also love reading them myself, and please make reference to the beautiful ladies and how they look today. That's great. We're on all platforms as TVC Connect. Please do remember. Alrighty now, so let's move on to letting you guys know what we have coming your way for the next 45 minutes. We love our viewers, and that's why we have this segment, well, cut out just for you to celebrate everybody who was born in the month of May.
Really? So, okay, say I'm going to the market in Yoruba.
Monlosi market.
Monlosi.
Oja.
Oh boy.
Oja, that's fight now. Mofeja. Anja.
See? He was trying to excuse himself.
Yeah.
In any case, you were going to say something?
Yes. Something interesting happened to me yesterday. Okay. So I went to the salon, a natural hair salon, with the intention of making my hair. And that's how I spent 5 hours not figuring out what exactly to do.
I don't understand. Do you know what 5 hours is?
Yes, 5 hours. I'm not exaggerating. Because first, the lady the girl who attended to me, she's not a lady, she's a girl, who attended to me, I guess she's learning. So she took her sweet time in washing the hair, moisturizing it, stretching it out. All right, so that took like maybe 3 hours. And then the other 2 hours, I spent, okay, so should I weave the hair? Okay, so should I do a packing gel? I eventually I packed it, did a nice, which of course, the style I wanted to make, they were spending so much time on it, I got pissed, and I'm like, you know what? Take out the hair extensions, like, just take it out. And
that can only be MM.
Yes. And then, you know, I left the hair packed, and then when I go home, I looked in the mirror, I'm like, nah.
Take it out.
Took it out.
I think that happens when you have plenty of options, because the same thing happened to me a couple of days from before when we were at the food fair, and it was a food fair.
I thought it was your hair you wanted to
No, sorry. My hair stays afro. It was a food fair, and you'd expect that the one thing you'd be there to do is eat. But we had spent like an hour there, and we hadn't decided what we wanted to eat because there were too many options. So maybe because you had so many options and plenty of time.
There are many options.
Yeah, I'll go to a
food fair now. It's even easier because, I mean, you're seeing them. They're right in front of you. So it's even easier to make a choice. Or better still, you have all of them.
See, fun fact, I will not have problem choosing what to eat.
What she said.
Until I get the cheapest one.
Let's do another fact.
Let's check out some more facts.
All right, welcome back, people. So here I am, still trying to figure out what kelewele is. If you know what it is, maybe it's a Ghanaian language, right? If you know what it is, please let us know. Like yeah, but in a nutshell, it is a snack, a plantain snack. It's like eating bole and granite, but in a different kind of way, right? In a different twist.
It's called hot, crispy plantain.
Hot, crispy plantain. Oh, that's what it means.
Yes.
Hot, crispy plantain. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients and how to make it.
Okay, the star ingredient for this recipe is our ripe plantains and roasted granules.
Okay.
So majorly is coated in different spice. You know, your preference. You could decide to use the spice that works for you.
Okay.
For this recipe today, I used some ginger, fresh ginger, garlic, onions, some black pepper, and some paprika spice. So that's what we have in here.
So no seasoning went in at all, just spice.
You don't need seasoning because plantain is sweet already. You don't need your seasoning.
Yes, it is seasoning because it can't be too sweet. Sweet is sweet. Okay, so let's we're going to start frying now, right? All right. So I see that you already chopped the plantains and just put in all the blended onions, ginger and garlic, and just mixed everything.
Please use fresh ginger and garlic if you really want to have the...
Yes, Mary, does that answer your question?
Don't use dry ginger because the flavor will already leave the...
So you blend your ginger, your garlic,
and your
onions, and then you use it to coat your plantain.
Fresh black peppers, guys.
No, use powder. Fresh.
Some person might want to ask, can we use atarodo? Whatever works for you.
Yeah, if you like pepper.
But it might be so soggy. It might not really come out so nice.
Well,
yes.
All right. Is our oil not hot enough?
No, just heating.
Okay.
It's heating up.
So please note we are using vegetable oil, but can you use palm oil if you don't have vegetable oil?
You can use palm oil if you don't want to go. So we'll have some, once the oil gets hot, we'll throw in some onions just to
give it
the
extra
flavor.
Yeah.
The oil.
Yeah, that's true. Onion actually gives your whatever it is you're frying that extra flavor. I don't know if you've tried it, but I think you should. Yeah, because there's just something about it when it gets into that oil. It just serenades the whole pan or pot. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to turn out crispy and hot. Crispy. And I think the fun of it is eating it hot, right?
Not too hot, but yes, hot.
Hot. Oh, okay. So how do you eat this now? So you eat it with a spoon when it's ready. So like when it's like how is it coming together? Like for example, after this is ready, like when you take it out of the pan.
Served in a dish.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be served like in proper meal.
All right. And then when you put the granite.
Just granite is majorly for garnish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's majorly for garnish.
So it's more like a one-pot dish at the end of the day. So you scoop into your mouth.
Yes, with the fork.
Okay. Interesting meal. I am looking forward to it. Never tried it before. If you've had kelewele, is this something that you want to try out? Let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We're waiting to hear from you. And if you want to send a video of your own kelewele delicacy, you can also tag Chef Blossom because she's already preparing it herself. Yeah, target her. But we have to go on a quick break now, people. Our kelewele will be ready in a bit. Stay with us.
Now, finally, we will be having right here with us this very interesting chat we've been talking about since the start of the show. Nollywood's fastest rising director, who was, well, I think 25 at the time of his directorial debut with Elevator Baby, which was a commercial success, by the way. And he is here with us with 6 nominations for that movie and also a couple others for other movies which we'll be talking about. Let us welcome A.K. Mason in the studio. You are welcome, man.
Nice to meet you. Good morning.
Fantastic. Good to meet you, too. You have been doing fantastic work. Let's start from Elevator Baby up until now. We'll be talking about some of your other projects. But I have a very big question. Now, you were 25 at the start. That's when you directed Elevator Baby. And I'm wondering how a young person inside of Nollywood gets to deal with all the superstars, in quote, or perhaps maybe even, and also the egos that go along with working with creative people. How did you manage all of that?
I think the biggest stars on Elevator Baby...
don't offend anybody.
Not offend anybody. The biggest stars on Elevator Baby were Tony Abraham and Timney. Okay. And working with them was quite fun because they understood that it was my first film, you know, and they saw the opportunity that the scripts, you know, give them as actors, you know, and I told them that I'll give them the license, you know, to be themselves and to become the characters, you know, and I'll guide them when they need me, you know, and we worked together. And I have a great support system at Anthill Studios. Oh, nice. You know, my mentor, Ni Akimalayo.
Oh, yeah, we had him here last week.
Yeah, he's a great man. You know, so he gave me the confidence that I needed. You know, right from the table read, the power dynamics was sort of established. You know, the actors knew that I was the director, and they all trusted me to lead them. And yeah, they won 2 MVCAs for Best Actor and Best Actress.
6 nominations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
6 nominations first, so that's a big deal to get 6 nominations for your movie, and then you won 2 MVCAs. Yes. But the one other thing that I'm always wondering is, what's a Nigerian table read like for a movie? Because you have all the stars, then you have to go through the entire movie. Just give me a sense of what that was like.
Well, because of how busy our actors are in Hollywood.
Yeah, how do you get them all in one place?
You hardly get everybody in one place. You know, you're very lucky when you get everybody in one place, you know. But as long as you can get the main you know, leads, you know, the main actors of your movie, then you can always have crew members, you know, read, you know. But it's something that I learned that is something new, you know, to the industry. You know, it's not something that's been in practice for like 10 years or so, you know. And it's a very essential part. It's where you as a director, you start seeing, you know, the actors on the characters. You start seeing little things here and there. You know, I remember when we did the table read for Elevator Baby, one of Toyin's catchphrases in the movie is where she was going, brother, 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 brother.
Yeah.
She did that at the table read. On the script, there were 2 brothers.
Yeah.
But she, like, at the table read, did like 3, 4 more, and we're like,
that way.
We're keeping that. you know, and you get this little things, and the actors get to feel the energy, and you get to see chemistry, because we don't really have the time to do a lot of chemistry tests. In Hollywood, you get to see that at table read. And
that's fantastic. That's a good input. So at 25, how did you get into directing? Because most people, for a career trajectory, is they started out as actors and then producers and then you know, eventually become a director. But you just went straight for it, did you? Or
I did not just go straight for it. So I went to film school when I was like 17, 18. I went to film school in South Africa, Real Edge Film Academy. When I came back, I started working for Mr. Nia Kimalayo.
Parents must have been very, very understanding and encouraging to actually push you through at that young age.
No, they were not, because I was in Unilag studying political science.
There you go.
Then
that's where they put you, and then you put yourself somewhere else. Same story, and I understand.
You know, when I got, when I was in Unilag, I was confused as to, you know, what I was doing there, but I knew I wanted to do film. So when I applied for film school and I accepted, you know, I had the confidence to go home and show my parents, I got accepted into film school in South Africa. I don't think I'm going to go back here. You know, my parents being MFM, you know, they sent me for deliverance.
Like fire!
You know, but, you know, the thing is, like, I think, you know, it worked because I guess God confirmed it that, you know, that this is what, you know, I should
congratulations, you've come this far. You've come this far from Elevator Baby. You went on to Day of Destiny, which was Nigeria's first time travel movie, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that was a leap of faith, because it could have either gone one of 2 ways. It could have gone great, it could have gone bad, because Nigerians are not in that. We want drama and deep voice of Yul Edochie and everything. You did not see us when we were poor, that kind of thing. But you went for time travel, and that was. Where did you find that courage?
I think it's useful exuberance. You know, you feel like, why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Who's going to beat us? Let's just try it out.
Exactly.
You know,
it worked out good, didn't it?
Yes. You know, you have to, like, fortune favors the brave or the bold. So you have to go for it. You know, you have to go for it. It doesn't matter if it's been done before or not. You know, try it your own way.
Both movies are on Netflix, Elevator Baby and
Baby and Day of Destiny are both on Netflix.
You also have on Amazon Superstar, which is your latest project. Talk to us about Superstar. What is it about? What's the premise about? Who's on it?
So Superstar is a story about a nobody extra that gets a chance to become this overnight Nollywood sensation. And while she's basking in her fame, you know, secrets from her past come back to haunt her, you know. And we just watch how she goes through trials and tribulations, you know. And it's the story about a dreamer. And one thing about dreamers is that you always see this vision for yourself. And sometimes getting to that vision is not the end goal. You may think that's it, but life still has some things in store for you. And that's something we discover with the character, you know, as we watch the movie. The
character is played by Nancy Sime.
Nancy Sime.
How much of an influence did you have in the casting?
I was involved, you know, right from script and stage, because I co-wrote the script with Uyoyo Adia and Chinaza Anuzo. I co-write all my films.
Nice.
You know, and working with, like, when we had the script, we knew that, okay, we needed this type of actresses, you know, somebody that could carry a whole film on her back, you know, and then we saw Nancy at the audition and she was just breathtaking, you know.
So do you cast a role for, do you write a role for a character in mind, or is it the other way around?
I think as a writer, it's always helpful, especially if you're a writer and a director, it's always helpful when you're writing to picture, you know, faces when you write. But when it comes to the casting process, you have to abandon all of that. Use that imagery as like the bar, you know, and expect every other person to, and be open to what you meet, you know. Nancy wasn't the person I had in mind when I was writing, but we knew like a Nancy type actor, you know, somebody that could carry a film on her back. And when she came in for the audition, from the moment she stepped in, she won the room, you know.
I've known you for a very long time, all of 5 minutes. But if you were going to write a character for this person whom you've just met now, what kind of character would it be? What would you expect that this person, what would be my, either,
I think I'll need to know a bit more about you.
We've known each other too long now. Just hazard me a guess. What could it be? I mean, let me give you my profile. or better still, maybe someone like for instance. I don't know. What would you cast her as?
No. We're going down, so.
Hey. Now our head will start. We will not hear any word again till the end of this show. Oh, geez, why did I do that? I'm sorry I asked that question, but it's all good. In any case, I'm hoping that we can show a clip or two from Superstar, because it's a very interesting story that I think people... Well, it's out on Amazon right now?
Yes.
Now, that's very interesting. You make a lot of money from Amazon, don't you? Come on now, AK.
So,
I guess...
I guess...
You're about to go around
it. Perception is...
You all do this.
The perception is off.
Really?
Perception is off. The people that own the IP, the production houses, the industry hasn't evolved to the stage whereby, a young writer can necessarily own, his or her IP. Wow. Most of the times when you're making these deals, you gift up, to the production company, because they're the ones taking the risk. They're the ones putting in tens of millions.
How do you see this changing in the future? Do you think that we're getting to a place where all your royalties and all your comings would...
I think when our guilds start actually working...
So it's a problem with the guilds then?
It's not necessarily a problem with the guild, it's just a problem with the industry, because the industry lacks structure.
What will it take, apart from the guilds working, the structure, and then what else?
I think everything coming together, we decided to structure our industry properly. Although the thing is, the lack of structure actually helped the growth of Nollywood. So it's a tricky thing there.
So you see, this is what I say. I always like to kind of like segment them. There's old Nollywood and then there's new Nollywood.
There's just Nollywood to me.
I know, but the layman here, excuse me, sorry, but that's the way I see it. Yeah. That while Nollywood is strong and you have 1,000 movies in a month, you have new Nollywood that's very, very strategic, and I'm just going to do this, even if it's one movie in 2 years, we're going to make sure that it's but I see a lot of foreign investments making all the money, and I'm talking about the streaming services now, and I meet a lot of the directors and producers, and they're like, it's not necessarily like that. We're not making that much. And I'm like,
we're not
why
really...
is that? So it's like, it seems, I'm sorry to say, like a rip-off.
No, I wouldn't say that.
They're coming to Africa and they're taking our content and making so much from off of it.
So are they really making so much?
I don't know if you have a deal that we're about to spoil now.
No, the thing is, we have to consider the fact that they're not really making that much from our content, because the numbers of subscribers that they get from, our side compared to what they get in South Africa or in, South America, or India, it's...
Why? How come?
It's our population, though. We need to get people up to speed. The same reason why we can't get 100 million Nigerians to go to the cinemas. Imagine if we get 100 million Nigerians to go watch Nigerian movies at the cinemas. We'll be making a killing.
Well, how do they see these movies at the end of the day? Because we do see them, and they do talk about them.
We do see them. I know quite a few people that haven't seen Elevator Baby, and they say, "Oh, what is that?" And I have to explain, "Oh, this is famous. Do you have Netflix?" No, I don't have Netflix. And for me, it's normal to have Netflix, but for someone else, it's a different life.
Wow, very interesting. Tell you what, you couldn't have come this far and not be fed. And I mean, all the way from Nollywood, from when you were 25. This is it. This is that time. We're going to feed you here. This is your award here on the show today. So just hang in there. But in the meantime, let's do this. Let's see that clip from Elevator Baby again. Superstar again, and we'll be back with AK inside of the kitchen. Perhaps maybe casting into one of his movies. Let's check this out.
Welcome to the kitchen, AK. Beautiful movie there, Superstar. Yes, this is Chef Blossom, and this morning she's taking us on a trip to Ghana. You ever been to Ghana before?
Never. Want to be.
All right, fantastic. Well, she's given you a bit of it, so we'd like you to. This is kelewele. Yes.
Kelewele.
Kelewele.
Yeah.
Kelewele.
So it's a Ghanaian snack made with plantain and granite. So please have a taste quickly. Let us know what you think about it. And then whenever you travel to Ghana, you can let them know that you tasted this first here on Wake Up Nigeria.
By Chef Blossom, please.
Yes, by Chef Blossom.
Really good.
Nice. You like it? Great. It's like our Niger Boli and granules. Yeah. Well done, Chef Blossom. Thank you so much, AK. And of course, we still have Mazino on the couch. Mazino.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. We've gotten to the end of Wonder Woman Wednesday. Where's my wig?
I don't understand. What do you want to do with the wig?
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate you. To everyone who has been a part of the show today, the crew, our guest, Chef Blossom, thank you for breakfast. And of course, you for always watching. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tomorrow, 7 a.m., make it a date.